Sly 3 is filled with new gameplay mechanics, characters, minigames, things of that sort. So there are many sections within this game that you can't free roam in. You can't explore as just a regular character. You have to be in a certain vehicle, first person mode, what have you. But as someone who loves video game glitches and breaking any game that I play, I found a way to get into these unexplored areas, and we're going to be exploring them today. First things first, if you want to do this yourself, you're going to have to play an emulated version of Sly 3 using the Sly Cooper Trilogy Trainer or one of the Sly 3 prototypes that have a built-in debug menu. I used these two tools to get myself into these areas as they were just warps that were already available to me. Now with that out of the way, let's start with my favorite, the biplane field. This is a big open area that's an extension of episode 3 of Sly 3. Now usually in the mission, you'd have a bunch of planes flying about attacking each other. I'm not sure if having that view is possible, doing this inside of the mission. I was playing with a save file that didn't have that mission available, but if not, it's still really cool. Sly can even still collect ammo for some reason. If you're able to get yourself over to where the ammo is, I use the rocket boots to do a lot of the exploring since it's such a large area. Just running around it takes up a lot of time. Specifically with the Trilogy Trainer, I can make it to where I never run out of gadget power, so that was very useful. If you are using the Trilogy Trainer to do it yourself, make sure to take note of that. Next up is the canal where you drive the boat in episode 1. This is definitely the least impressive one because your camera is very restrictive. You can't really do much. Now the way the map works is that it's an infinite loop, so there's only so much to explore. They copy paste a lot of buildings. Once again, I used the rocket boots to travel as far as I wanted to, but I gotta say, out of all the ones I'm going to show today, this is the area with the least amount of things to do. I cannot say the same for the Dimitri missions. Now, when Dimitri goes underwater, you get in that first-person view. There is a big area for you to explore. Basically, an entirely new level, and if you bring an actual character into here, there's a lot more exploring to do. For some reason, Dimitri's model, when you're in that first-person view, is really blown up. You are a large character. Now, if you bring a regularly sized character into these places, you are tiny in comparison, making this basically a brand new hub world. Now, it's just two versions of these underwater missions because there was two underwater missions, one in episode 5 and one in episode 6. You can explore both of them. This will take you about an hour to look at all the nooks and crannies. You can do a lot of parkour because these are vertical levels still. Overall, I had the most fun exploring these. There's also a Dr. M boss fight in one of them, so you can kind of mess around with him. You can't damage him or anything as Sly, but it's a really cool visual. And Dr. M is huge. Like I said, it's supposed to scale up with first-person Dimitri, which is for some reason gigantic. Another large-scale area to explore is the area in episode 2 where you have to crush all the scorpions with this big truck. It was always a mission that I didn't really like in Sly 3, but exploring this big monstrous landscape was actually pretty fun. First of all, climbing up these big rocks is actually really easy and possible due to the weird trick in Sly 3 where if you swipe your cane and immediately hit the feral pounce, you can kind of walk on any surface that you want, even slippery ones. That was very useful when exploring. I was also able to get into this little mine right here. There's nothing in it, but I always kind of wanted to explore that when I was a kid. And the thing is, you can actually do this one in the base game yourself, in the PS3 collection, that is. And the thing is, I'm going to kind of gatekeep you guys from that information. I have a video coming up. It's going to take a good amount of time, but I put it on pause for too long, and I've been getting a lot of comments about it. Sly 3 without jumping and pressing the circle button will happen. Now, I have done about half of this challenge, and I did it back in 2020. It was a long time ago. I have live streams on this channel of me doing it in real time. I never finished it, and I have to bust out my old PC to get a lot of the footage that I just don't have anymore. So it's going to take some time, plus I need to finish it. So yeah, I'm going to kind of withhold this from you guys just so I can kind of build up hype for that video. And I just want you to know, it will happen eventually. And last, and I gotta say certainly least, looking back at the canal one, it's probably even cooler than this one. This is also in episode 2, where you use the crane to throw boulders at this electric fence. You can explore this area as well. I just never really had fun exploring this one. There's not any, cool landmarks. It's not massive like the previous one, and overall it's just kind of boring. This electric fence will damage you, and that's about all I have to say for this one. Yeah, this is definitely the worst. Before I end the video, I do want to say I'm going to have resources and videos in the description to help you guys set this up so you can do it yourself. I also receive a lot of comments, asking for a tutorial on setting up the Trilogy Trainer, showing how it works, all of that stuff so you guys can do it yourself. I kind of just gloss over it in these videos, which was kind of stupid of me to do, and I do apologize for not really mentioning, any resources for you guys to do this yourself. That was, not the best thing to do, but I will have it in the description now. I don't think I'm going to do it myself. Maybe in future live streams if I, happen to be messing around with the Trilogy Trainer, but in terms of setting it up, downloading it, and all of that, I'm going to go show you guys some outside resources so you guys can do it yourself. Check the description, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.